Where did the movement culture come from? Of course, most people know the movement culture from Ido Portal and the community he has built around the practice. However, how far back can we really find the movement culture? In what different ancient cultures did it exist, if any? And ultimately, where were the influences? Seeing as Ido Portal is the only lead I have right now, I thought I would visit his website. And right here we can see he defines movement culture as representing a contemporary paradigm shift in physicality, moving us away from the main culprits in movement and fitness, as well as a separation between health, aesthetics, performance, and art. And of course, you cannot have a culture without a people. Therefore, a mover is someone who sees beyond the technicalities of each movement, pursuit, or discipline. Someone who finds interest and wishes to understand the body, health, performance, and physical artistic expression. Now, there is a whole lot of jargon and fancy wordplay, but essentially we're looking for a generalized practice for a generalized result. And that result being health, aesthetics, performance, art, and just fun and enjoyment. Now, looking for some influences or even some origins, let's look at football. Going back to the 19th century, modern football was invented, 1863 actually. Now, I've got some footage from 1938, and you can see how the players of Leeds United actually trained. They used some cardio, agility drills, accuracy training, some muscle memory work.
Heading practice. And just to prove that two or more heads are better than one, we'll show it again in slow motion.
Quite a vast approach, but still not generalized. Or we can take a look at Indian mud wrestling, for example. The first time I came across this sport was while watching a movie called Dangal. Definitely recommend it. A very old sport that dates back to around 500 BC. Its practitioners can be seen training mobility, strength, reaction time, specific skill, and stability work. A lot of this is used in modern day sports, especially the neck thing you can see there with obviously Mike Tyson is famous for doing that. But again, something these 19th century football players and these ancient Indians have in common is they're both training towards a specific event or a specific match or fight. It's not a generalized practice. That makes their training specialized and therefore cannot lay the foundations for the movement culture. In 1940, Bruce Lee was born, and with him a whole new philosophy on training. See, before Bruce Lee, there was no major significant movement or gathering of ideas similar to his in the way of take what is useful, regard what is useless, and essentially cross-training. You see, people had, of course, been cross-training and been mixing martial arts styles for a while. What Bruce Lee brought to the table was the very act of taking the best out of different disciplines and tying them together. Not only that being Wing Chun, fencing and boxing for Jeet Kune Do, but also weight training. Obviously in Kung Fu there is calisthenics, there's mobility, there's coordination training, everything you think of, balance, stamina. But in combination, he discovered bodybuilding, obviously moving to San Francisco and living in America. He found the benefits of bodybuilding, of hypertrophy, and applied that to his own training, therefore becoming an incredible athlete. He tied in isometric training. He took different disciplines and brought them in together. And although Bruce Lee did this more so for himself to be a better martial artist, he definitely taught it in a way that encompasses the same values the movement culture holds. That of health, performance, art, and discipline.
What I'm saying, actually, you see, I mean, it's a combination of both. I mean, here it is the natural instinct, and here is control. You are to combine the two in harmony. Not, if you have one to the extreme, you will be very unscientific. If you have another to the extreme, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man, no longer a human being. So it is a successful combination of both So therefore, it is not only, so therefore it's not pure naturalness or unnaturalness. The ideal is unnatural naturalness or natural unnaturalness.
Yin yang, eh?
Right, man, that's it.
Now, for one more example, I'd like to take you back to ancient Greece, and perhaps the most significant invention in sporting history, that being the Olympics. Ancient Greek Olympics involved multiple disciplines such as ancient Greek martial arts, boxing, long jump, running, etc., etc. And of course, training for these disciplines, you need a multitude of different training methods, equipments, and purposes for doing so. Now, looking at Plato and his explanations for sport and his philosophies on sports, you can definitely see the significance of sport and activity and exercise in Greek culture, therefore making the link between the Olympics and the philosophy of exercise, one that does pair very nicely with that of the movement culture. So right here you can see a study that I came across which details everything Plato said about his philosophies with sport. But ultimately we can see that the movement culture does not go back to Ido Portal, but far, far beyond him by millennia. It's not something that was named, but something that was alive within spirit. It was something that continued and developed and has had multiple contributors until it was given a name. Very simply, Ido Portal's method and movement culture is one more so centered around capoeira, which is expanded outwards and grown from that. But it is something that has evolved in philosophy for as long as we can remember.